Termites don't need an invitation. In South Carolina, the pressure is real. Warm weather, moisture, crawl spaces, wood-to-ground contact. That's the perfect setup for termite activity. By the time you see the damage, they may have been there for months or years. Softwood, mud tubes, hollow spots, hidden damage. Don't wait until the repair bill tells the story. Schedule a termite inspection today. Palmetto Pest Control, LLC. Veteran-owned, local certified. Protect the structure. Protect the investment. Visit www.bedbugheatkill.com.
All right, good morning, and definitely make sure you protect your property, protect your investment. South Carolina, again, like I said in the commercial, is under enormous, constant termite pressure. So protect your home, protect your investment. Good morning, and welcome to, we do this sometime not every morning, but some mornings we get to do this right here. And this morning right here, we're going to talk about something that a whole lot of people probably hoped that this would go away. And what I'm talking about is that PPP money, that COVID loan money. Now, the first things first, I've seen people saying that the 562,000, that number is, I posted it was in warrants. That was a little tongue in cheek. What it was is that these 562 fraudulent, possible fraudulent cases were passed over to the Department of Justice for a further investigation, is what I should say. What the SBA has announced is that 562,000 suspected fraudulent PPP and COVID EIDL loans have been referred to the U.S. Treasury for collection and further investigation. And the number of this, and that number is not a small number. We're talking about $22.2 billion. That means the government is now saying some of these loans were flagged. Some of the money was suspicious. Some of these borrowers may not have been entitled to it, and now the Treasury is being brought in to collect. And let's say this, I can say this in plain. The Treasury, when the Treasury gets involved, this is a different level of pressure we're talking about now. Okay, and that can come in the form of demand letters. That can mean collection activity. That can mean private collection agencies. That can mean offsets. That can mean, and pretty much in plain English, the government's about to get its money back that they got from you, and that you got from it. And if you got that money under false pretenses, if you got that money under some of these fake businesses that were created, you got some problems coming. Okay, you got a lot of problems coming. Now, for most of you prior to this, you weren't criminals. You don't have a criminal history, so that's going to play well for you when this thing comes to a head for you. Okay. You probably will not end up in prison. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. Maybe you need to get a lawyer to help you work that out. But this, I caught a lot of flack. When I expressed my opinion on all these people, the people that were getting this loan. Hell, I even had people tell me, I have a cousin of mine, Sweet family member. She's a very nice person, and she said to me, this was after some time after the whole PPP video that I did. The video went viral, and um, it was a lot of bad language. I was a different person at that time, but I was a little bit frustrated by what I was seeing. And again, I see things differently. I didn't. I saw the money being given away. I didn't care. Um, I was just bothered by the fact that, and I'm gonna do that number not tonight because I'm getting ready for the event tomorrow. But I'm gonna put that whole numbers, millions and millions of dollars that landed in one little town in particular, Andrews, South Carolina, and the results of that. Um, nothing was done with that money, and so man, let me get it. I gotta go live on Instagram. I apologize. Instagram is different, so I have to go live after I'm on over here on StreamYard. All right, so yeah, shout out to anybody that's checking in on Instagram. Let me see if this is working over here. Can I see Instagram? Instagram. Anyway, I'm live over there. But so yeah, a lot of people thought this was going to go away. A lot of people thought they had gotten away with it. They had made off, with a bag. You got, number of people, man, that got thousands of dollars, man, thousands. I mean, and they didn't use the money to improve their lives in any way. And now, Uncle Sam wants that money. I remember, man. I remember talking to my grandfather during this time because right when that video came, when I did that video, and pissed everybody off for saying that it was stupid to be stealing the government's money. I had a conversation with my granddad, and he's 80 plus years old. Um, he's starting to he's almost 90 years old, so he's starting to not remember things and that kind of thing. But prior to now, when I asked him back when this thing happened, I remember asking him like, "Dad, have you ever heard of a time when the government just gave money away?" And he said, "Free money?" I said, "Yeah." I said, and I went to breaking down what was happening. He said, son, don't do that. He said, if you not supposed to get that money, don't you touch that money. That's a trap. He said it just like that. That's a trap. You know what I mean? And I know, because my grandfather, he don't have the highest education, but very, very smart man. All right. Very, very smart man. Wise. Uh, and I just remember him saying that, the government's never given anybody anything free and not expect it back. And so this is what we're dealing with now. A lot of you just, you're waiting for the ball to drop, waiting for the foot to drop or whatever, the shoe to drop. It's getting ready to. Um, and here's when I remember talking about this because I saw this day coming, right? And what did I see coming? Um, I've even heard people say, "Man, this Trump doing this here because he got that war going on and they need money." That's probably true. That's probably true. But here's something that for you partisan politic types, the blame goes on both sides. If there's a blame, first of all, there is no blame. If you didn't have a business during this time, and I understand the world was hurting, but if you didn't have a business and you took that money, I have no sympathy for you, right? And if it wasn't for Biden, you guys would have got away with it. You know why? Because you would have ran the clock out by now. What I mean by ran the clock out, the statute of limitation. But Had it not been for Joe Biden, what they call him, Sleepy Joe, and you see on the screen right here, President Biden signs legislation giving watchdogs more time to fight pandemic fraud. This was signed back in 2022. Once they started to see, God damn, all this ain't no way in hell this much businesses in Andrews, South Carolina. Landscaping companies, car washes, general stores. They just got lazy. They got greasy when they started filling out these forms. It's just like, whatever. Put it at my mama house. Put it at my grandma house. Well, that's all coming due now. That is all coming due. That ain't got nothing to do with the white man. That ain't got nothing to do with racism. That got something to do with you stealing. Bottom line. This was a case of, you guys ever went into a really nice motel where they had like USA Today's on the counter? They had maybe some candy bars or some cookies or something on the counter, and nobody's saying, hey, you can't have the whole dish of cookies. It's just common decency to take a cookie, take a candy bar, take one newspaper, and move on. You know what I mean? And that's what that's how that pandemic money, that PPP money, was treated, as if it was some kind of just a dish sitting in the open and anybody could go and grab it. Even the people who even the people who didn't stay at the motel, they just walked in and just grabbed a handful of it and walked out. Well, guess what? They want that back now, and they're gonna get it. And like I was saying, you would have got away with it, but President Biden signed H.R. 7334 and H.R. 7352 into law last week, extending the statute of limitation on Paycheck Protection Program and COVID economic injury disaster loan fraud from 5 years to 10 years. The 10-year statute of limitation is consistent with that for bank fraud, the charge in most of these cases. Okay, this was done back in 2022 by President Joe Biden. Okay. And he did this because he realized the mistake that he made in trying to fast track money down to businesses that needed it. As a matter of fact, when the second round came back around, and I tried to, because I have a legally operating business, I went back in for more funds, and they told me that because they distributed these funds in like sectors or regions or whatever. And so where my business was registered at, they had so many funds that could go in that area, right? So what essentially happened is a lot of thieves took money from legitimate businesses. So that's why a lot of business owners are sitting back now laughing. Like, nana boo boo, good for you. Because you didn't have to steal that money. And you would have got away with it. But old Joe, old Sleepy Joe, they woke him up that day. Joe was like, oh, they're stealing money? Where my pen at? Sign this in the law, right? Pop, 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 pop. Yeah, they had a right now, people would have been scot-free, basically, because the clock would have ran out. But President Joe Biden, in his infinite wisdom, He realized, man, it's going to take some time to get this money back. Boy, President Trump, he looked over there, said, damn, this war going bad. I need some money. We short. Where can we get this money from? Oh. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, back to my cousin, what she said to me. Eventually she said to me, I'm still upset with you. I seen her over some time and I spoke to her, hey, how you doing? Da, da, da. She's like, I'm still upset with you about that video. And that's the mentality of people. You upset with me about the video. You should have been upset with yourself for being so naive to think that there was free money out there. And let me give some of y'all advice. I'm gonna give y'all some good advice before you end up making a bad situation worse. When the feds come to you and say to you, hey, do you know about this situation? And you say you don't know, you just got another charge. So lying and stealing is what got you into this position. It is my suggestion that you stop that now. The only thing that could, start to move you back to where you want to be is to just tell the damn truth at this point right now. So, this is not happening because I wanted it to happen. Because if I wanted it to happen, y'all would have been locked up a long time ago. I just saw this as ridiculous. And man, there was Hellcats purchased where you can't fly out no more. I guess that's why Spirit went out of line, because all the damn PPP money finally gone. Is that what happened? Is that what happened with Spirit? And I used to like Spirit. I used to fly Spirit quite often when I did fly. But now, I done ran Spirit out of business. That's the thing. You got the money, and what did you do with the money? I know one person that got $450,000. 400, almost $500,000. And what did he do? Paid for his daughter's wedding, took the family on vacations, bought some motorcycles, just like Juvenile said, acting like a nigga that ain't ever had shit. So, yeah, we'll be covering this for a while now because, again, this is that gift that keeps on giving. Now, I did this without, I just said that one curse word, but I didn't do a lot of cursing. I didn't do a lot of yelling. I still have that list because this list still exists. We're going to review of all these businesses that existed in Andrews, and maybe the town can file for some kind of economic relief to lose that many businesses. Oh my God, man, that is tragic. Listen, West Andrews, we had grocery stores, we had laundromats, we had clothing stores, landscapers. There should not be a blade of grass that grows that much in Andrews, South Carolina, based on the number of landscaping companies. You know what I mean? What else did we have? I'm gonna go back over that list because again, I was just, oh my goodness, completely impressed with it. So, if from back then, when you got that money to now, you've done nothing to hedge against what's coming for you right now. Let me break that down. If from then to now, you've done nothing to mitigate what's coming, let me use another word. If from then until now, you sat on your ass and you just waited for this to happen, it's going to happen now. It's happening now. Okay. So don't you worry. Just keep your eyes on the mailbox because it's going down. It's going down. And again, this segment was brought to you by bedbugheatkills.com. That is bedbugheatkill.com. Please go over there and visit their website and tell them that we sent you there from the podcast. We're out.
Termites don't need an invitation. In South Carolina, the pressure is real. Warm weather, moisture, crawl spaces, wood-to-ground contact. That's the perfect setup for termite activity. By the time you see the damage, they may have been there for months or years. Softwood, mud tubes, hollow spots, hidden damage. Don't wait until the repair bill tells the story. Schedule a termite inspection today. Palmetto Pest Control, LLC. Veteran-owned, local, certified. Protect the structure. Protect the investment. Visit www.bedbugheatkill.com.